Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips MLB Daily Fantasy Preview Show for today, the 3rd of July. I'm going to be taking a look at everything you need for your daily fantasy games on DraftKings today. I'm going to take a look at starting pitchers, stacks of the day, how we can construct a lineup to maximise our point scoring potential, foundation players that should be used as a foundation upon which to build a winning lineup, and a value player at each position. Obviously, we're looking to construct a roster of 2 pitchers and a player at every position, including 3 outfielders, using our $50,000 budget. For anyone that hasn't had a chance to sign up and play Daily Fantasy Sports at DraftKings yet, I will pop a link in the description of this video to enable you to do so. Going to dive straight in with starting pitchers. Jon Lester of the Chicago Cubs is 12,800 today. The Mets have started scoring runs again in recent games, but we know that they're more effective against right-handed pitching than they are against lefties like Lester. Lester went 4-0 with a 1.41 ERA in June, and in the regular season he's unbeaten against these Mets with a 2.50 ERA in 3 starts. He is worth around a strikeout per inning, and the Mets are a top 7 unit for strikeouts today. I think Lester's going to have a good game today. Cole Hamels of the Texas Rangers for 12,400 has basically been money. He's 4-0 with a 0.65 ERA in his last 4 starts, and on the road this season he's 6-0 with a 1.44 ERA in 8 starts. Conditions do look reasonable for pitchers today at Target Field, with winds forecast to be blowing in as well. He's facing a top 10 strikeout unit in the Minnesota Twins, and Hamels is worth a strikeout per inning this year. Hamels is probably my favourite play at pitcher today. Noah Syndergaard of the Mets for 11,900. Do we trust Thor? That last start with 5 earned runs was not good. Was it the bone spur in the elbow? Was it a bad day? Who knows? Do you want to chance it against the Cubs for this price? Not sure myself. That being said, the Cubs do rank 6th for strikeouts in baseball this year, and Thor has 115 punch-outs in 94 innings pitched. So the upside is clearly there. You do have to be concerned about a much lower floor than you would normally anticipate using Syndergaard, though. Jose Quintana of the Chicago White Sox is 9,200. Now, Quintana is winless in 9 starts, mainly due to a lack of run support. The lefty has dipped below 1 strikeout per inning with 96 strikeouts in 104 2/3, but we should see a boost against the Major League Baseball leading strikeout lineup in the Houston Astros. He has a good record in 6 starts against these Astros, 2-1 with a 2.78 ERA, but he has worryingly become a little bit homer prone, with 6 of the 8 that he's allowed this year coming in his last 4 starts. That's not a good sign against this lineup, but there is still upside there with Quintana at a cheaper looking price today. Chris Archer of the Tampa Bay Rays for 8,300. Archer has been vastly superior at home this year with an ERA less than half that of his road numbers. All of the peripherals are still there. He has 117 strikeouts in 98 1/3 this year, and the Tigers are above our average for strikeouts. The Trop is a decent pitcher's yard. This one does come with a floor, but he's likely going to be underused, and there is a high upside with the possibilities that Archer has with those strikeout numbers if he has a good day at home today. Matt Shoemaker, my final pitcher today of the Los Angeles Angels for $7,000. Okay, he faces the Boston Red Sox. Despite being winless in June, Shoemaker had a sub-3 ERA and did deserve a win. His strikeouts are a shade over 1 per inning on the year, and Boston's lineup isn't plating runs as efficiently as it was earlier this season on the basis of what I watched in the early innings of that game last night. He has the 2nd lowest run support in the American League, Shoemaker, which I would anticipate changing opposite Sean O'Sullivan today. He gave up 0 earned runs in his previous start against the Red Sox. I think 7,000, he looks a solid play if there are hitters you want to pay up for today. Looking at our stacks of the day, the Los Angeles Angels exploded for 21 runs on the Bo Sox last night. Now they get to see the human home run on the hill in Sean O'Sullivan. With good weather for the hitters forecast and the lineup clearly swinging it well, I think there's every reason to stack us some halos today. At first base, Albert Pujols for 4,200 hit a home run yesterday in the first. 251, 15 home runs this year. Outfielder Mike Trout for 5,400 is 327, 17 home runs. He's got 3 home runs and hitting 552 in his last 7 games. Cole Calhoun in the outfield for $4,000 has the platoon in the matchup, 285 with 10 homers this year. And the leadoff man, third baseman Miguel Escobar for 3,500, 309 with 3 home runs, but he will set the table for those big 3 bats in behind him. If you want, you can sub CJ Cronin at first base, if that's your pleasure, if you want to save a couple of $100 instead of Albert Pujols. the Baltimore Orioles. Now, we know Safeco Field is a pitcher's yard, but the Orioles come into this series having set a record for home runs by a team in the last month in June. Iwakuma no-hit the Orioles last year, and he does carry a career 2.51 ERA against them. But this team lives and dies by the long ball, and Iwakuma has allowed 7 home runs in his last 4 starts, including 3 home runs on 2 occasions, 1 in this ballpark against Texas. So I will take Chris Davis at first base for 4,500. He has a home run off of Iwakuma. Hits from the right side of the platoon. 247, 21 home runs this year. Outfielder Mark Trumbo for 3,900 is another one with a home run off of Iwakuma. He's hitting 278 and are tied for the Major League lead with 23 home runs on the year. And Manny Machado qualifies at third and short. 4,700 is hitting 331 with 18 homers this year. Looking at my foundation players today, at first base I will take Miguel Cabrera of the Detroit Tigers for 4,100. He will face Chris Archer, who has struggled at times this year. Cabrera is platoon proof. He has a home run off of Archer and is hitting 300 with 18 home runs on the year. At second base it's Robinson Cano, 4,400. Second base looks a plentiful position today. He has the platoon advantage over Ubaldo. Jimenez has hit a home run off of him twice, and despite the park factor and the fact that Jimenez was solid the last couple of starts, Ubaldo is still Ubaldo, and Cano's hitting 301 with 19 home runs. Jose Altuve, just, is another player that would be just as solid at second base, but I thought we'd save 1,000 and go with Cano, to be honest. Third base, Jake Lamb of the Arizona Diamondbacks for 5,500. Enjoys a platoon advantage over Suarez in a nice yard at Chase Field. He's hitting 292 with 18 home runs. Over his last 7 games, he's hitting 348 with 3 homers. My shortstop is Marcus Semien of the Oakland Athletics for 5,100. Gets to face the wild Francisco Liriano. The park in Oakland is not great, but Semien has been strong against lefties all year. He's hitting 241 with 17 home runs, and he's hit the ball out the yard 4 times in his last 7 games. And in the outfield, I'll put up Odubel Herrera of the Philadelphia Phillies for 4,800. Make no mistake, Mike Trout is the top outfielder today, but as he's featured in the stacks, I'll take Herrera as my foundation player. He enjoys the platoon over Yordano Ventura, who comes in off a 7-run effort in return from suspension in the last start. He's hitting 302 with 9 home runs this year. I'm not going to offer a catcher at value plays today because, as usual, it's Sunday and a lot of them do get the day off. It's hard to know who's going to feature. At first base, Anthony Rizzo of the Chicago Cubs. He's 3,900. He does have a home run yesterday. He has the platoon advantage over Noah Syndergaard, who did struggle his last time on the hill. Rizzo's hitting 283 with 20 home runs. My second baseman is Brian Dozier of the Minnesota Twins for 4,000. Has very solid numbers against left-handed pitching. He's hitting 261 with 13 home runs. His last 7 games he's hitting a whopping 400 with 5 home runs. Third base is Todd Frazier of the Chicago White Sox for $4,000. Let's go home run hunting. Frazier hits in Houston today against Colin McHugh, but he is tied for the lead in baseball with 23 long balls this year. My shortstop is Alcides Escobar of the Kansas City Royals for 3,300. He's riding a 13-game hit streak into this game. It's a nice yard in Philly. He's hitting 264 with a home run and 11 steals on the year, so we do have upside on the base paths as well. In the last 15 games, however, he's hitting 348, so you can tell that he is hot. And in the outfield, sticking with upside on the base pass, Brett Gardner of the New York Yankees for 3,600. Enjoys the platoon advantage over Andrew Cashner. Obviously, we know that the yard is poor at Petco for power, but Gardner is a 254 hitter with only 5 home runs this year, but 11 stolen bases. So we're looking for the upside on the base paths if he can get on against Cashner, who has had a very broken season with injuries. He's been on the DL twice, I believe. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. Best of luck with your lineups today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to like the video. Hit me up in the comments with the daily fantasy plays you like today, and press that subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I will be here all MLB season and through the NFL season with daily fantasy sports advice. If you haven't signed up yet, or you're interested in starting to play daily fantasy sports, please click the link in the description for this video, and that'll take you where you need to go to start playing with DraftKings today. Best of luck with your lineups and have a great day.